Today we are making TXT's concert sweaters that they wore for the Sweet Mirage tour, which I had the honor of attending. We're starting with Yeonjun simply because it's gonna be the easiest, probably gonna take the least amount of time, and I really need that right now after this freaking hat. I'm being really professional this time. I made like a little swatch so that I could count stitches properly. Also, I'm sad because the biggest needles that I have are 10 millimeter, and this isn't exactly wholly enough for Yeonjun sweater, but I mean, it is what it is. I have been spending far too much money as it is, and as this is just a hobby, I need to calm down. I've started my back piece. Hello? I think it's a bit big. Since my needles aren't big enough, I've been knitting as loosely as possible. So what I did was with my little gauge here, because I'm smart, I'm a proper knitter now. I have 20 stitches, so I went across here. I was like, okay, that's 8 inches, which means for every 10 stitches, it's 4 inches. So then I was like, how big do I want it? And I was like, 20 is a little, even though I feel like I should have went with 20 now, because I went with 24 inches. So 24 divided by 4 is 6, hopefully, because I did 60 stitches math, and this is what that brought. This is this. So I'm basically just gonna continue this until it is up to my shoulders. I've been doing 9 rows for each color, for each non-color. And unlike this stupid hat that I actually really love, I believe I could get this done within a couple days. I don't work tomorrow either, so let's do this. I completely forgot to say that I'm using a stockinette to stitch. 1 row knit, 1 row purl. Everyone knows this, unless you just started knitting. In which case, hello, same. I am just about to finish the back. It is 6 p.m. I'm not gonna finish this in one day. I don't know why I thought that was... I've done 1 piece and not even. But it's a good thing I checked the picture before finishing, because it looks, or it turns out that the back also is shaped. So I'm gonna do 2 more rows of the white, and then I'm gonna start shaping the neck part. I'm realizing too many things too late. Mine is way too big. This stops at his shoulders, and mine, this is like a freaking blanket cape. Holy goodness. Like, it's gonna go way over my shoulders. Should I redo it? I mean, I spent all day doing this, but it may as well be right. You know? Like, cause this is gonna be humongous. Oh, look at that. I don't know. I swear I looked at the picture so much. I could have done with like 20 less stitches on this. Okay, I think I'm gonna continue. I think for a second there, I was considering ripping it all out, but I think that's just cause my brain is turned to mush because I've been doing this for hours and that's all I've done today. My excuse is this is Yeonjun size. I like oversized things, so it's fine. Moving on to the shaping. From kind of the top of the shoulder blades, it'll start, I guess I should mark it. Okay, so I marked with bobby pins kind of where I think the neckline should be. Now I'm gonna count either side and make sure that it's even number of stitches on both sides. There is 20 on either side. So now I'm going to stitch until the knit, or I guess purl until the bobby pin. And now that I've made it to the bobby pin, I'm gonna transfer all these stitches onto a new set of needles just to save it for later. For the stitches in between the bobby pins, I am now gonna cast those off. I just dropped so many stitches on both sides because I was trying to arrange this like this to show you. So ignore that. It's supposed to be distressed anyway, right? So it's fine. This is our shoulder that we're holding for when we're done this side. We have casted off the middle, lost some stitches, recast it off, and now we're gonna continue this shoulder till it's finished, and then we'll move back over to this side. The back is finished. I can't get over how big it is. I ended up doing 4 rows. I meant to do 3, but I forgot to cast off, so I just did an extra row. Time to start the front. Front, I did the exact same thing, except I casted off the neck a row before finishing the black. So each of these chunks are 9 rows. I casted this off on the 8th row because the front neckline is going to be more revealing than the back. Since I'm going to be doing 3 extra rows of decreasing than I did on the back, I have 3 more stitches on either side than I did on the back. So we're starting smaller so we can go to the same. Alright, so finished both the front and the back. I'm going to now sew these up just at the shoulders so I can see how far down my shoulders it comes so that I can see how long I need to make the sleeves. Okay, so the shirt looks pretty tight on the wrist and then it'll get looser. So I'm gonna start with 8 inches. So I will chain, do I remember? I think it was 4 inches for 10 stitches. So I should chain 20, not chain 20. I'm gonna cast on 20. I'll start increasing after the first black. Okay, so far what I've been doing is I increased at the end of this row, increased in the middle of this row, increased at the end of this row, and that's at either side. And now what I'm trying to figure out is how to do this, because I could try to do it afterwards and just distress it, but I think it's possible to do it here. So I've been playing around and I think I figured it out as much as I can figure it out with the skills that I currently have. So we get to the middle. We have this piece here. Let's look at our picture first because I forget. Get to like our middle. We chain. I don't know if that's what you would call it in knitting. If we're on a purl row, I just switch this over to the other side while I chain because I don't know how to chain with it not on this side. So that creates a little space there. Then I move this back over so we could do a purl stitch. Purl 3 together like so. And then we're gonna chain again. Chain 1. Switch it back over. Then it's 3 together again. Ugh. And then we continue on the rest like normal. When we get to the next row, we're knitting this one because even though it looks like there's a space in it, there's not really. We didn't chain in between that. And then these are the 2 chain spaces. So we are going to, first of all, Yeonjun sweater, like these 2 pieces are twisted together. So I found that if you go like this, before doing the chain, you put this under this piece and then you chain with the stitch and this piece, and that'll twist your chain together. It doesn't look like it now, but it'll do it later. And now we're gonna stitch into this one like normal. We're gonna pick up this before chaining this. For the next space, chained it. Then we're gonna continue on the rest of the row like normal. Now we are back again, and since I'm on a purl row, I'm gonna flip this over this way before I chain. Not picking this up for this chain because we're only twisting 2 at a time. So this is a new chain. Chain. Then bring it to the front, stitch into this one like normal, bring it to the back, chain. Hope this is in focus. Bring it to the front again. And then stitch the rest like normal. And then we're back again, so we're just gonna do the same as the second row. We're gonna pick this up before chaining. And then you can just continue that as much as you want. I continue it for the entirety of the black. As for switching back to white, we need to put these 3 back in each of these stitches. The only problem is I don't know how to do that without it looking like this, because that's how you increase. But I want it to go in like 3 in 1. So if you know how to do that, let me know. I don't know. We're just gonna increase in here 3 times. Hello? And then increase in this one 3 times as well. I'm not good at increasing it. And then continue like normal. I feel like this is pretty similar to what he has. So I didn't increase in the black rounds at all, just because this will make it quite loose, but I do increase as soon as I start the white again. In the first row, the middle of the white, and the last row. Now for casting off on the black, I still have to put the 3 stitches into these 2 stitches. So I just do it and decrease every time. For example, increase, cast off, increase, cast off. Now I'm just gonna sew the sleeves on like so, and then sew the body together. This is humongous. It's kind of giving more Chota Bota Guitar. That's a spoiler. This is hot. Anyway, the neck is humongous, but we're not done yet. We have one more thing to add. Now we're gonna make this second neck piece thing, which doesn't make any sense, but I don't make the rules. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna measure the neck. It's way too big. I'm gonna go with 16 inches, and my gauge was 10 for 4. And 4 times 4 is 16, so 40. 40 stitches, that's crazy. I lied, we're gonna do like 12 inches across. We're gonna use this kind of hold this together so it's not as wide. Okay, so I chained 35 in white, then switched to black right away. On the third row of black, so on the second knit row is when I started decreasing. I decreased 1 on either side every knit row. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of black, the last being the casting off. I'm gonna do the opposite with the other side. A lot of black on the bottom and a little bit of white on the top. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, so this might not work. I'm gonna sew these on now. I have no idea what I'm doing. Wish me luck. And we are finished. I don't know, I feel like it doesn't look much like it. I really wish I used a bigger needle, but it is what it is. One thing I'm really happy with, oh, this is so hot, is being able to figure out the distressing. I'm very proud of myself for, yes. Show it off. Honestly, it doesn't look that similar to me, but I tried. The neck part also turned out way better than I thought. As I was sewing it, I was like, no, this is gonna look so stupid. But look, and even the back, I think looks pretty good. I did, however, cheat here because one of the strips were too long, so I literally just folded it over. Instead of remaking it or doing something else with it. I don't have the patience for that. It's soup sweater time. And look, we are in nature. Look, that's bird poop. Nature. You hear the birds singing? Hear the trees rustling? We're starting with this beautiful purple color. We're using 10mm hooks again. We're basically gonna make almost the exact same thing as we did for Yeonjun's sweater, because Yeonjun's sweater's shape turned out more the way Subin's sweater is shaped. I'm on a trampoline. Unfortunately, I would say Subin's sweater was more knit with something like mohair, but I cannot afford mohair, so here's the cheapest value yarn. I'm pretty sure I cast it on 60 for Yeonjun's sweater. I've been watching videos of people casting on and they go like, and I don't know how. Or wait. Oh, wow. No, I didn't do it. Anyway, goals. Trampoline was too hot. It's been a while since I've studied the photo, but I'm pretty sure it goes up slowly and more low on this side, and then it kind of does like a full like mountain on this side. So I think I'm gonna start doing the pink in the middle. I've done 2 rows. I did, oh no, now I forget. I did 18 for the steep side. Okay, well this is now the steep side. I did 18 stitches in purple, 22 in pink, and 20 in purple again. Okay, I'm gonna have to look up how to color change or do intarsia or whatever it's called, because every time I change color, they don't connect to each other and it's leaving holes all over the place. And Subin's sweater is the only sweater that is not distressed, so sadness. I figured out the color changing. It's a bit messy still. It's fine. Because it's hard to see the bottom of his thing, I just kind of winged it. And then same for the triangular thingy. Just made it up as I went. It should have been a bit further in. This is like halfway. But again, I wasn't looking at the picture whilst making it. I realized after looking at the picture. The ribbing is gonna be about this thick. The shirt is about this long. So if the ribbing is this thick, it comes right up to his neck. So I think I'm gonna do 2, 3, 4 more rows. And then we're gonna start working the neck. I was gonna use this as the back because I thought it would be really messy, because it was really messy, but it got better. I think this will be the front. Time for the neck. 20 for this shoulder, cast off 20, 20 for this shoulder. Because I want the neck like this big. And then we'll do the ribbing, which will bring it closer, but we'll do it this big for now. And this big is this many stitches, which is about 20. Nice. Okay, I finished the back. I just did a big square. And if you're like, how did you know what the back was? Well, you're welcome. These very high quality photos are taken on a iPhone 8 of the live stream of the Seoul concert projected onto my wall. So I just did the triangle on the other side. Oh no, it ended up being the same side. It was supposed to be the opposite side. I was originally gonna shape the neck on this too because it looked like in one of the pictures that it's down a little bit, but I think that's just from all these movements. And it's obviously gonna sag a little bit naturally. Now I'm going to sew these together. This wasn't supposed to be like this. Darn it. The neck is way too wide, but I'm hoping once I do the ribbing, it'll be fine. Now I'm gonna do the sleeves now that I know how far. Well, no, maybe I should do the ribbing first, because then this is gonna, I don't wanna learn it yet. So I got this book. It has a bunch of like recasting, I don't know what you call it when you like bring up the loops from this stuff too, somewhere in here. So I'm gonna learn it from this book and see, I lied, I'm confused, I can't find it in here. I do feel like the only thing I'd have to do is pull the yarn through each of these stitches and then stick it on the thing, but I'm not sure if that's right. So I'm gonna look it up. Okay, I found something else that was useful, but I'm not finding what I'm looking for. So I think I'm just gonna do what I'm doing. I'm gonna downsize this. This is a 10mm. I'm gonna go down to a 9 and see what that does. I'm gonna tie these together. Or no, can I do that? I don't know. I'm gonna do it anyway. It's working. I believe this is all I have to do. With a crochet hook, it's a bit easier, I think. Go through, grab it, pull through. Okay, I casted on all of the neck things, hopefully properly. It looks like I'm gonna have some holes, which is nice. Because some of the stitches were very loose. It looks right, but now I'm gonna be knitting in the round, which I've never done before. We're gonna be doing a rib stitch. I'm guessing it's a 1x1. So by the time I zoom all the way in, the quality is kinda iffy. Holy goodness, this first stitch is very tight. I'm gonna put a bobby pin in here as a stitch marker so I know when I get back to the other round again. I probably will decrease a couple times every round just so that it's going in the way. I may have to redo this whole thing. This is my first time. I'm making the mistakes so you don't have to. You're welcome. I'll show you in a couple rounds how this goes. I don't think this is right. It seems very, very loose. It kind of looks like just an extension of what's already there. I think I'm gonna start over and do one more size down. So we're gonna try a size 8 needle. Also, it's really hard to tell what it's gonna look like when it's like this. So I'm confuzzled, but we'll try again. So I have a problem. I have been using the 7mm. I went down 3 sizes and I think it's looking pretty good. The only problem is I messed up casting on. I don't know what I was doing. This is supposed to be casted on through here. But that means I have to start all over again. But since I'm starting over again, I think I might even go down to size 6 and see what that looks like, because I have to do it anyway. I still need to do a few rows of this neck, but I don't know how to because this is getting too big and I don't know if this is right because this is stretching it out so I can't even see what size it is. Like by the time I cast it off, it could be like way out here. Only time will tell. Maybe I should cast off now, but it's not as long as Subin says. Knitting stretches. Or actually, I think I will cast off this next row because that's... This looks really tiny. How do I even know which side is...
Oh, you must have lost that just to get your head through.
This isn't meant to be. You deliberately did that.
No, I just couldn't. It's not. I'll stitch it. Ignore that.
Is it supposed to be a poncho?
I needed to do this so I could see how long the sleeves need to be.
You want me to get a measuring tape?
No, I'll just know that it came to here.
She's eyeballing it.
I'll bruise myself. Now for the sleeves, I am just going to rip this around. Very nice measuring. It starts pretty tight and then it goes loose. So I'm gonna start it like this. So I'll just count that many stitches and we'll cast on that many stitches. Mark 24. Starting with the white. I had white. Where did I put the white? I don't know. I got one of these things. Number 10? Yes, it is. I just finished the left sleeve, the right sleeve. I don't know, I think this is the left sleeve. Only problem is, I wasn't paying attention to how I was increasing it. I was just increasing it randomly. So I don't really know what to do for the next one. I'm worried about this not being wide enough, like being too tight. I don't know, maybe I'll sew it up and then see. I have to redo the sleeve. I think the 21st stitches at the beginning, perfect. But I need to increase a lot more from this part so that it's looser. Plus, there's some issues. I mean, there's some issues with the entire thing. I need to get better at the end pieces. 2 sides of all my work. The stitches are very loose. I finished the sleeve again, but I believe in this one, so I'm not sewing it on to check it. Now I'm gonna start the other sleeve. But this worked out because now I actually know what I did in terms of increasing, so I can do the same on the other side for the most part. Now we're doing stripes. Orange, pink, orange, pink, orange. And I counted this. These rows are basically 50, 51. I only counted it once. that means that the stripes are each going to be 10 rows because there's 5 stripes, right? And for the shape of this, all I did was I cast it on 24. I increased every knit row for the white. So every other row I increased on both sides. And the white is 17 rows. And then after that, I started increasing every other knit row. So like every 4 rows, we ended up with 43 stitches on the top. Now we're gonna do the next sleeve the exact same, just with more colors. So pretty. All my pieces are done. Time for sewing. Just lay out the piece right side this way. Put on the sleeves, ideally counting, making sure there's an even number of stitches on either side of the seam. Doing the same to this one as well. So, it looks so pretty. I need to, no, it needs to be inside out. Then I will sew sleeves. It's in the body, preferably using the right colors for the right colors. Also, I'm pretty sure I sewed the wrong sleeve on the opposite. I sewed the opposite sides of the sleeves, but it's fine. Where's the front? The front is the messed up side. How convenient. Finally! This took forever! Okay, the sleeves are too big now, but it's fine. And I'm probably going to try to weave in this a little bit so it's not as messy. Let's go see how the Fam Jam likes it. Finished it!
Oh, what is that?
It is time for Bamboo sweater. I'm gonna use 9mm hooks, but still do the same amount of stitches as my last 2 sweaters. I think it's 60. I'm gonna do 60 stitches across because it's a little more form-fitting than this one. Okay, so 60 stitches. Each of these chunks I made, is this a ruler? Yes. I made almost 5 inches, which is 9 rows for me. So then this goes in 30, 30. So make sure your stitches are even number of stitches. I somehow ended up with 32, so then I had to redo this row because I counted 30 and it's just, Now we're gonna make this distressed part. You could do it after, but I'm gonna try to do it now. I'm gonna try to do it the way that I did Yeonjun's for his thing, but I almost forget how to do that because that was like a couple weeks ago. And I don't know if it'll work because this is pretty wide. That looks to be about 7 or more stitches wide. Also, by the way, I put the stripes in on the wrong side. It's fine. It's whatever. Judge me if you want. I wasn't paying attention. Looks like it's pretty close to the middle, so I'm doing 15 stitches in, which is halfway through my rows, because my rows are 30. And then, I don't know. I really don't know. Now it's experiment time. I think I'm just gonna cast off the next 7 stitches. Probably should have done this the row before so the cast off is black and it doesn't have a random line of green, but I don't know, it is what it is. I'm trying to think of an easier way to do this where you can just like leave a string across. My brain's not coming up with anything. I'm gonna try and do what I think I did for Yeonjun's, but it's making chains, but somehow whenever I finished the row in Yeonjun's it was just a straight line. But it's not working that way this time. Okay, wait, I'm stupid. It is easy, and you can just leave a long string.
You do it for your videos?
I'm teaching the people.
Oh yeah? What people?
Doing God's work. You can just leave a long string. Like that. Very loosely. Leave a big long string. Ta-dur. That's not long enough. We'll try again. Oh, then you can just tighten it and loosen it like that. You don't even have to worry. And then you just do that every time. If you're making this, start in the black. But this is the part that's tucked into his pants anyway. So if you're gonna wear like Bangyu, it's fine. Oh, what am I doing? You're distracting me. And that's kind of leaving big gaps here, but whatever, it's distressed. That's the look. That's the look. I'm gonna continue this until I get to the second row of my next full black stripe, and then we'll figure out how to put it all back together. For Yeonjun's, I think I just increased, but since it's like 7 stitches, I think I'm gonna have to see if I can cast on, and I don't really know how to cast on extra stitches, so hopefully that's easy. Okay, I did my last row of distressing. Now I'm about to work my way back here, and we'll see how to build back. Okay, so I couldn't figure it out, but I looked up a video, and we're gonna do a cable cast on. Oh wait, but I was watching someone do it from the knit side. Okay, so I think you go like here purling, and you're leaving this on, and then you're just slipping that back over. Nope. Darn it! I'm gonna do one more row so I can do it on the knit side, so I can just learn from this video that I was watching. Okay, I honestly have no idea what that person's doing. I don't know if they're left-handed or what, but I'm so confused. I think I found my own way that works, or else I'm doing what she's doing but backwards. I don't know. Go in with this needle. You yarn over. You do this, but you don't take this off. Don't take that off. And then get into this side, I think is what I did. Bam. There are 2 extra stitches now. Now into this top one, you do the same thing. You go in, around, off, but not completely. Then in like this. So now we have 3. We need 7, or however many you did. I did 7. This is too tight. It's getting tighter as I go. Okay, whatever's going on, I think it's working. And it's getting looser. Okay, I think that's done. Now I'll do the rest of the row like normal. It is a bit weird though at the sides. Like, you can fix that temporarily if you just pull these. You'll tighten up all that row, but then it just kind of goes back to that eventually. So I don't know if this is a good technique or not. We'll keep experimenting. It's time to do the shaping, which like not a fan of. Also, I was just kind of following the picture to like see how many stripes I should be doing and what color it'll be when I do the shoulder. So I kind of ended up with it's a dress. Forgetting the Pomgu is in fact a good few inches taller than me, believe it or not. But I don't actually know how long it is on him because he hasn't tucked it. It's still good. The neckline is not all that wide and it's done very nicely. I'm not good at doing necklines nicely. I'll maybe start 1/3 of the way into either side and 1/3. 30 is 10. So it'll be 20 stitches that we're gonna be casting off. First shoulder stitches like normal, then we're gonna put them on some sort of holder. I just use extra pairs of needles. Okay, so that's our shoulder. Now we're gonna cast off the middle 20 stitches. Okay, so 20 on this side, 20 on this side, 20 cast off in the middle. Now, I don't want to go too high for the shoulders because the neckline doesn't come down very much, but at the same time, it does go back into green, which means I do have to do at least like, I don't know, like 9 more rows, which seems excessive. I think I'm going to try decreasing every other row so the neck doesn't get too wide. Though, I don't know if it's just me, but this does look skinnier than the rest, so maybe it'll just be less rows. Done. I think one side is higher than the other, but again, it's fine. My hair is bugging me, don't judge me. I almost cried. So look, I made this, the front. Right, and as I said, I put the stripes on the wrong side. Not a big deal, you know, it'll look the same. Then I started the back. Didn't even think about the stripes. I did it the same way. And if you do it the same way, that means once it goes to the back, the stripes are on opposite sides. Just the opposite of what Bomb uses. But I didn't freak out, or I tried my best not to, because in the past, I have made mistakes, thought I made mistakes, and then ripped out the entire piece right away without thinking too much and realized that it was in fact correct, or that there was a way to work around it. So I sat for a moment and I thought, and I complained to my parents. And then eventually my dad said, can you not just put it upside down? So upside down, it works. It might look a little funky joining on here because I will have to join on here, add full rows, more of a black I think, and then do a little bit of green for the top, and then just finish this off the way the bottom is finished on the other side. I also made these mistakes. I realized this row that I made the mistakes and I really did not want to go back and fix them because I really want to move on to my next projects. Cutting corners a little bit. But I'm so happy because this was today's entire day's work basically. I've been working at this for hours today. If I had to rip it all out. Okay, I'm finished. Kind of tell where I had cast it on. Darker. That whole row is tighter. Also, if you'll notice, this last couple rows is all green because I looked forever to find a picture of the back of his sweater because I didn't take a picture of the back of his sweater for some reason. I should keep that in mind next time I go to concert. But someone kindly uploaded this to Pinterest. Thank you very much. So it is green all the way across that one and it looks like it's not shaped at all. It's just straight and then it kind of like droops down. So that is what I did. However, I did not have enough room left to do as much green as I would have liked. So my green stripe is very skinny, but it's still good. I'm gonna sew these together so I can see how long to make the arms. Also, there is a bit of stuff on the arms that confuse me. I don't really know what it is. We're just gonna pretend that doesn't exist. Let's do this together. The neck's a bit wide, or is it perfect? The sleeves we did 30, I believe, for Suvin, so I think for this one I'm gonna do 40 just because it's a smaller sized smaller sized needle. And as you can see in this lovely photo, it like starts pretty tight and then it goes out quite a bit once you get to the end of the black. I lied, I think I was wrong. I'm just gonna do 30. I'm gonna cast on 30 for the sleeve. And also I'm gonna use this to see if I can get back to black. Oh yeah, that'll be perfect. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That means I can still continue to do 9 rows for each stripe. Perfect. Perfection. Sleeves are finished. I did one with the hole at the bottom right here, and then I did one with the hole at the top right here. Actually, it was supposed to be more in the middle. I thought it was in the middle when I started it, and it turns out I was not in the middle. It's fine. What I did for each of these is I cast on 30, started increasing halfway through, and I just increased every knit row. So every other row I would increase up until halfway through the green row, and then after that I just started increasing every first knit row of the new color. So it's pretty square. It went like whoop, and then just slightly out. I'm hoping it's big enough. I believe it is. So let's sew everything together and see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's done. Ooh, it's humongous. It is also very heavy. Oh, it's not done. I need to do that. It's almost done. Okay, as we can see, we've got stitches all down the front. These stitches are kind of, you know, so we're gonna rough this up a little bit. Yeah, kind of unspin it, untwist it, and get it like this, and then put it back together. It's like messy like how it is in his shirt. I was originally going to do double-stranded, but I think once this looks messy, it'll be the right thickness. Right, so we're gonna start at the top of the neck. We're gonna make sure this is in fact the front. What the heck is this? And then we're gonna pick stitches on either side so that it stays even. So I'll go 2.5 stitches out this way, leave a bit of a tail, go in this way. Then I'm just gonna tie this piece. Sorry for the heavy breathing. I'm very much out of shape and this is somehow taxing for me. This is all straightforward. I don't know why I'm telling you how to do this because it should be easy enough. But anyway, here, and there. And then we're just gonna do that over and over again until we complete the entire thing. Oh, it looks good already. Now I'm done. I'm finally done all 3 of the sweaters. And no, I have not fixed this yet or woven in any ends, but honestly, why would we expect that at this point? They're all humongous.